500,000 contracts trading overnight. We have a 93-point range. I had this level that I was watching that I had a limit order at 50.18 because I thought that the buyers were gonna show up here. Of course, it was a small position. I got stopped out because it sliced through it like nothing because of the news. We got all the way to 49.6350 and then started bouncing back at this was my target for the repair of the imbalance, 5003. We got a lot of volume here, and then we got a lot of volume here above the 18. That became support overnight. You can see that we moved above it, we retested it, and then we had all this volume here. Then we got a push above yesterday's low, above yesterday's value area low, and now retested the Globex open and yesterday's settlement, so corrected a lot of the short inventory from overnight. So it's almost like nothing happened, right? Except that all this buying came in below, which is a combination of the shorts that we're covering and the longs that initiated at this level. So now for today, it's a little tricky because when you have such a big overnight range, I think the market is likely to want to test this area again, especially because we've been one time framing down on the daily and the weekly, so there's a chance that even though this looks pretty bullish right now with a almost 100-point move up right from the lows, we're still not out of the woods, and yesterday we had that bearish imbalance. So I'm gonna be watching, instead of thinking that I know what's gonna happen, I'm gonna be watching. First of all, do we accept during the RTH session? Do we accept inside yesterday's value on range? Right. Right now we're above yesterday's value high, but can we hold it? Can we hold yesterday's low? If we cannot, then we're looking to retest this area, right? You can see that there's a distribution here with the point of control at 50.31. So 50.31 is going to be the first target, which coincides with the monthly pivot point. And then if we break that, then I'm going to be looking for this 18 area again, and possibly a test of the 5,000, right? We have the midnight level right there, which we know that algos like to test. And I like that it's right there, just with my target and with the 5,000 figure, right? So there's a possibility that we retest this area, in my opinion. Now, if we cannot get below yesterday's low and put some more volume here during RTH, then there's a high probability that we test yesterday's value area high at 50.72, and if we break that, then the highs here are very close to the 5100, that it's the 90-day point of control. So value is higher, right? We still haven't established value lower. We've been looking for where the value is, so either we hold this or we come back to value, which is at 5100. Okay, so that's for ES. We had some earnings earlier, but we have some Fed speaking at 10:30. We have some BOE speakers also, and we have some oil news releases at 1 p.m. And then that's about it. It's Friday, so just be aware that Friday OPEX could be interesting after this crazy day. So, all right. So speaking of oil, oil did. It's funny because yesterday I said that if we break above 82.80, we were gonna go back to the previous range at 85.20, and yesterday we barely picked a couple ticks above it and then came back, right? And then during the news, we broke about it, got all the way to 85.20 in like a few minutes. Um, Traded up here for a while in the upper distribution, and then came all the way back, and then broke this lows, and now it's trading down here. So now my next target is, I said this morning, was 81.15, which we hit a little bit ago. And that's the high volume node from oh no, so I was looking at the wrong number. It's 81.05 is my target. I wrote it wrong. 81.05 is my target. So we didn't get there yet. So it's a little bit below, but we found buyers ahead of the pit open, and then we're just rejecting. You can see this low volume area right here, and then the previous low. We are moving down. We're probably gonna retest that 81.05, and then the 50-day moving average, I think it's below us at 80.90. So I'm looking for a little lower on oil. We had a channel, an upwards channel, and we broke above it, and now we're trading kind of in the middle of that channel. We also have the 200 moving average below at 79.77. And the bottom of that channel, the way I have it on my channel, is around 78, but that's ways to go there. So I'm looking for some support around this area, 80, with the 50 moving average, 80.90, and then seeing if we can stay in this range. But right now it looks pretty bearish. If it wasn't for the news in the Middle East, I would say that it has room to go into the low 80s. But because we have the conflict going on, like it's been very volatile, as you can see. So we can, out of nowhere, start moving higher if there's some news. So keep an eye on that. All right, that's about it. Oh, gold. Anybody trading gold or not? Anyway, so gold is Bitcoin. Let me share about Bitcoin, because I've been trading the micros on Bitcoin, and what happened is that we tested below the range. Let me see if I can open this chart here. There you go. So Bitcoin, we were trading in this range right here, between 64,000, let's say, and 73,000. And you can see, like, we started testing the low of that range. We broke below the long volume node, traded below it, and then failed to stay on the lower range, trading now above it. So I took a long here with a stop below this point of control, around 63. I don't know exactly where I have my stop, but somewhere around here. And I'm targeting the upper side of the range at 73. Because the rule says breaking below and coming back into the range, you test the other side of the range. So that's my that's the reasoning behind my trade. And gold has now double distribution. There's some support here, 2380, just a little bit below that. And now the 20-day point of control shifted up here at 2398. So that's gonna be the magnet. If we lose this area, this low volume area, 2378-ish, let's say, then I'm expecting this 2365 to be retested and possibly the low here at 2336. But for now, every dip in gold has been bought, and also we have the selling areas, like we cannot hold above 2420. So this is the range that I'm looking for. We might fill this area with volume and then make this into an extended range. We'll see if this holds or not, but that's the levels that I'm looking at. Okay, that's it for today. Good luck, everybody. It's Friday, and have a great weekend.